Hey everybody, it's Jordan, your average Joe, and today we'll be trying out some products from ZEESEA Cosmetics. We're just waiting for my cat to finish throwing up. Today's video is a little weird. I've had these products sitting in my collection for a bit. It's been probably 2 or 3 months since I actually received these products, and I was going to do a review sooner, but you know, moving stuff happened. But I have some products from a brand. It's called ZEESEA, Z-E-E-S-E-A. I'll put it right here so you can see what I'm trying to say. And I kept getting advertisements for this brand all over Facebook, all over Instagram. Every time I went on TikTok, I would get ads for this. And I'm like, okay, I've never heard of this brand before, but hear me out. The products looked beautiful. I was suckered in. I was like, these are the most beautiful makeup products I've ever seen in my life. And so I'm like, okay, what's the deal with these? And you know, you get all the reviews at the bottom and they're like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. And I'm like, okay, Sharon, were you paid to say that though? I can tell you I was not. I bought all of these with my own money. And yeah, so without further ado, if, you know, makeup reviews are your thing, if trying brands that you've never heard of before is your thing, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon to be notified every time I upload a video. I am trying to upload every Friday. Last week I had a technical issue, but hopefully, you know, from here out it's okay. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so I hope I explained myself well enough to kind of get the gist of it. But basically, long story short, I saw all these products from this brand, right? And they are a Chinese makeup brand, which, you know, that's fine. A lot of makeup comes from China. But specifically, you know, I don't know, I've never heard of them. I've never seen them in store. I've never seen them online outside of Facebook advertisements. So I was a little bit like, okay, I hope this isn't a scam. I hope this isn't like a wish.com kind of thing where, you know, you buy it and you don't know what you're gonna get. You buy a hat and you end up with a moose. So like, whatever. But I picked up a couple products. I picked up 2 eyeshadow palettes, a foundation, and a blush. And I will make sure I list the prices for everything as we go through it because I don't remember what they are offhand, so I'll have to go back and find my receipts for it. But the thing that sold me, the thing that made me want to try this brand was this British Museum XOXO palette that was Alice in Wonderland themed, okay? Look at how beautiful this is. Now watch. You see the glitter inside? Can you see that it's moving? I was like, okay, well that's a vibe. And then like this is the back of the palette. And so I will say, I could not find an ingredients list online. I even messaged them on Instagram to see if they would send it over to me, and they did not. So I don't actually know what the ingredients are, so I can't be the judge of telling you if you should get this for your face or not. I'm going to try it, but I will say, when I first opened this, it smells a little weird. Not bad, just weird. But, I mean, kind of bad actually. But it comes with this little, it comes with a brush. So we're going to actually try to use this brush for the eyeshadow. And if you ignore the actual mirror part here, hey, that's you. This itself is the eyeshadow palette. And it's beautiful. So I got that to try. And I also got another eyeshadow palette from the British Museum collection with them. And it looks like this. Okay. Isn't she? Oh, you see my ring light. Hey. She's stunning. But if you open it up, it's got this little like protective cover. But this is the eyeshadow palette itself. Very intrigued by this color specifically. But yeah, so I've got those to try. They both have like a chemical smell to them. It's a lot less strong than it was before. I also got a blush from them in the shade 1 that looks like this. Again, this is very beautiful. This is admittedly very small. This is a lot smaller than I expected it to be. And then I also got a foundation from them. Now, before I show you the foundation, because the foundation bottle is beautiful, I will say their shade range is honestly not great in the slightest. If I remember correctly, there was like 4 shades. Now, it makes sense. I mean, it's a Chinese brand. Generally, they don't make a lot of deeper shades. However, I mean, I was fortunate enough to be able to be, I mean, I'm light enough that I was able to shop from there. I can't even guarantee that this will actually match me because some of these shades were like light. They're not really mid-toned. They're very light white shades, like bright white shades. So I got one hoping it'll match. It could look very bad. Honestly, we'll probably, I did not mean to cuss. We will probably swatch it on my hand and decide from there if it's going to match out or not. And if it doesn't, then we'll just focus on an eyeshadow look. But this is the actual foundation itself. And I will say it is a gorgeous like display bottle. And then this part comes off and it's still this luxurious, it's a pump. It is glass. Like I will say, this is a very weighty bottle of foundation, but that's how much product you get. And it's still like, it might match. We'll see. But I got those to try, and yeah, so without, you know, rambling on too much more, I guess we will go ahead and get started with the face. Okay, so I took my glasses off so I can do the foundation. Now we're going to do this to the best of my ability. We're going to give it the fairest shot that it has, so I'm not going to do anything super weird with my makeup. I'm going to kind of do what I would normally do with it. Let me grab a little cotton round so I can get my hand wiped off. But we're going to swatch it on my hand first, and then, you know, prep and prime my face like normal, okay? Ooh, okay. So, it has a, whoa, like a Play-Doh-y smell, kind of like glue. This is the shade. That is very yellow. Did not realize how yellow that would be. But we'll go ahead and give it a shot. So let's go ahead and prep my face with some primer. Okay. Got a foundation brush. Let's try this. And my mirror is right here. Ooh, that smells bad. Okay. Okay. I look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Let's get my concealer and setting powder, and we'll do that, and then I will check back in with you with some thoughts on the foundation, okay? Okay, so we are back, and I don't love the foundation. I'm looking at myself in the mirror, sorry. It has a very strong odor, and it's not, I'm not even saying smell, because like some foundation is like perfumed and it has a scent. This one, I don't know if it went bad between the time I ordered it to me using it now, but it has a very strong like Play-Doh glue smell to it. Also, it's definitely too light, and I went with one of the darker shades of this. I think I went with, I don't remember what one I went with. There's nothing on this. Yeah, I don't remember what shade I went with, but I can see if I can figure that one out. I went with one of the darker ones though, because, you know, I'm not like, I mean, I'm pasty, like Casper kind of looks like he's tan next to me, but like I'm not that pasty, you know what I mean? And it was too light. And then if I look at close, you see how it's like patchy? It didn't blend in, and what did blend in like started to come, I'm looking at myself in the reflection, sorry. It started to come off. It's not mixing well with my powder or my concealer. And I used my NARS concealer that I use all the time. And I did use a different powder today. I used some of the Becca Hydra Mist one, but I did use my Lancome one the rest of my face. So this is the one I normally use, and it still did that. Yeah, so, you know, I don't necessarily know that I would recommend the foundation again, but we're going to keep going and kind of see if the other products, you know, can change my mind. I will say 10 out of 10 for packaging though. This is truly a piece of work. Like, this is artwork here, you know. But, you know, I'm not buying makeup just to look at it. I'm buying it to use it. So that's kind of a big no for me. Let's try the blush right now. And let me grab a little fluffy brush. We're going to try some blush. This doesn't have as much smell as the foundation. That's the word. The foundation does. So we're going to go ahead and try this. I want to do my blush first. Normally I do bronze and highlight. I don't know if I'm going to bronze today because I'm not loving the base. So I honestly don't know how much work I want to put into like the rest of my face if I'm going to wipe it off. But you know, we're going to still try to give this a shot. So we're going to use a Sigma brush on this and blush my cheeks. Okay. Okay. Hold on. I am... Okay. Kind of getting some stuff. We'll try. Oh, it's a blush lighter. It's, see that? Okay. So, this is the blush. It's not bad. It did pick up on the brush itself. Okay, it picked up. I will say it's a little deceptive because there's this layer of glitter over the front of it. And, you know, it didn't seem super reflective for some reason. And now on my cheeks it looks like it is. But it's, I can see like gold patches. You see? It's not the worst blush I've ever used. It actually reminds me, one second, it reminds me of, it's a similar effect to the MAC Petal Power Mineral Blush. You know, except this one has more pink in it. That's the only complaint, is I feel like there's not a ton of pink. Okay, my camera stopped recording for a minute, so hopefully this keeps working. But what I was saying was, I wish there was more pink in this. That's the only complaint. And it feels like it separated my foundation a little bit. You know? So it's not bad. It's not terrible. I'll have to see what the price was to decide if it was worth it or not. I mean, the packaging's cute. It's real hollow. Christine would like that. But yeah, so, you know, it's fine. I've had better. Let's go ahead and get my eyes prepped, and we're going to just go ahead and try the eyeshadows next. Okay, so we're back. I've got my MAC Painterly Paint Pot on my lids, and because these are two very different color stories, I think I want to do a different look on each eye to kind of give the eyeshadow a fair shot. So I'm actually going to take this neutral shade right here, and I was going to use the brush that they gave me, but I kind of want to give it a fair shot. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with my little Morphe brush. I'm going to clean her off. Sorry. Clean her off, and we're going to go in with that brown shade, and ooh, there's a lot of fallout. And just set the lid. Here's the problem. So where I stuck it, it's sticking. So let's try that again. So that's the brown. It is a little patchy, but overall, I mean, I have an itch. Overall, I mean, I've used worse. I've used worse colors before. Let's go in with like the slightly pinky one right here and see if we can lighten up the inside part a little bit. I'm going to use the brush that they gave me, okay? And see if that makes a difference. The pink one is doing something. And also, The brush isn't terrible. So let's go in with, what do we want to do? Probably glitter. I want to get a fine liner brush, and we're going to use some of that, pinky nudie color along the bottom right here. Going for like a sexy pink eye look. So there's that. Let's go ahead and do some, let's do some glitter. Let's do that pinky shimmery glitter overlay and see if I could pick it up with a brush. Okay, see? It's not doing much. Okay, let me see if I can put it on my eye with my finger. I will say, the shadows are very soft. They're very soft. Also, I'm sorry my mirror's to the side, but the shadows are very soft. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish this eye off camera, and then I'll come back and we'll work on the other eye with the other palette. So, that is this eye. What do you think? I will say I like the inner corner. This little thing is actually, it feels like a, when I used my brush with it, it felt like a gel almost. It's not really, but you see, it's not really color. It's just, it just exists. So that's not, you know, necessarily a bad thing. It is mostly just glitter. My fingers are a bit stained from the pink. I mean, I kept wiping it off. But other than that, I mean, it's really not a bad palette. I actually feel like the pigmentation on like the mattes was fine. I haven't tested all of them yet. I used this one, a little bit of this one, and then the mattes down here. You'll see that the palette's a little dirty because of the fallout, but other than that, I mean, honestly, it's not bad. I've definitely used a lot worse, like really expensive high-end palettes, and so I think for like the beautiful palette that this is, yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. The smell kind of went away as I was using it, so I don't know if maybe I'm just used to it or it actually went away. But we're going to go ahead and use this other one now on my other eye and see what look we can come up with. Now this one has more nudes. Oops, it's fine. More nudes in it and some like bright fall colors. I know it's summer, but you know, I'm always ready for fall. I am. We're gonna go ahead and go in with the top left corner one. Oh, that stinks. It was the one that had the little hieroglyph impressed on it. We're gonna use that to set my eye. First impression, like that went on fine. So before I keep going, I'm a little bit curious about these two shades right here, this one and this one. I think I want to swatch them and see what they look like. So we're going to go over the camo looking one. And that is more just like a bluey white. Oh, it's a very chalky white. See that? Let's go over this glittery one right next to it. Ooh, that one's pretty. It's very yellow. And it's so pretty on the hand. Can you see that? I swatched it in the worst way possible. But it like blends out, and it's got like a hint of color. Like a hint of color. Alright, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. I'm also using the brush that came with that kit because honestly, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So let's go ahead and do something spicy. Let's do something fun and exciting. Let me grab a thicker liner brush, and we're gonna, like a smudge brush, and let's get going. So I think we're gonna go ahead and just go all in with the blues and the yellows, and I think we're gonna just go with the blue shimmery color right here and get to work. Wow, that is pigmented. Like, look at that. Oh, blue eyeshadow is hard to do too, and that's a pigment. Okay, I see you. Let's go ahead and go in with on the other side, we're gonna do the yellow shimmery one. That's the same, looks like the same texture, and see what that does, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and work on my eye off camera, and I will come back with a final look for this and we can review everything, okay? All right, ready? Okay, hear me out. Why does that left, like that one look so good though? I am so impressed. I'll give you a close-up of the eyes. I will say I am so pleasantly surprised by how well these shades blend out. I ended up going in with this dark one. I used this gold one, the yellow one, and then that one right there. And then I used that little shade up there to do a lot of the like blending part. I will say, without a doubt, these eyeshadows are so nice. I guess like in terms of longevity, I won't really know until, I'm sorry, I'm putting this back together as I'm talking. I won't really know how well they hold up until, you know, I check in at the end of the day, which I could always check in at the end of the day. But right now they feel fine. Like they blended really well. They're very pigmented. I actually feel like I liked the this palette more, a little bit more than the Alice in Wonderland one. However, I like the Alice in Wonderland packaging. I think that is the most beautiful packaging I've ever seen on an eyeshadow palette. I will say I have one issue with the eyeshadow. You see how the inner ring is starting to get a little red? I think something in my eye is irritating it a little bit. With the foundation, if you look right here, look around my mouth, it is already starting to crust and peel off. I'm looking at the mirror. I've like put the mirror in the worst spot for this whole video, but it's starting to crust and peel off, and like around my nose, there's some separation. So, you know, foundation, I definitely don't think I would buy again. And the blush itself feels like it's fading off. So, I mean, if you're going to get anything from them, I would definitely recommend trying these out, especially this one. This eyeshadow palette is fantastic. Now, I just wish I knew what the ingredients list was, because I don't know if it's vegan. I don't know if it's cruelty-free. Like, there's a lot of big ifs with it because I don't know what's actually in it. And definitely something is, you see this? Is irritating my eye. So you might not even be able to see it. Maybe I can just see it. But something is definitely irritating my eye. So, you know, use it at your own discretion, but I think it looks really nice. I have achieved similar looks with expensive eyeshadow palettes before. I've achieved similar looks with cheap eyeshadow palettes before. So, like, it's up to you, really, what your prerogative is. But otherwise, overall, I mean, I think the brand itself, you know, they have some work they can be doing. You know, eyeshadow is great, but, you know, the blush ranges weren't great. The foundation ranges weren't great. They could have some improvement there, but I probably would buy eyeshadow palettes from them again. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you thought about the makeup look in the comments below. Which eye is your favorite? Do you like the Alice in Wonderland eye? Or the Egyptian hieroglyph eye? Personally, I think I like this one more. But yeah, so without, you know, dragging this out further than it needs to be, longer than it needs to be, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Let's be average together, everybody. Bye. I'll see you next week.